And I feel like this is what I want all women. Like, this is a freaking movement. Like, I want all women to feel that. Where if the guy doesn't want to be with you after you've invested some time with him or whatever it is, like, you know that you are just brilliant. You're amazing all on your own. And it's okay. It's bye-bye. I feel like the biggest reason, like, why I do what I do is for my 2 little girls. Okay. And, you know, this episode, I want to dive into the movement. Like, this is a freaking movement. I want it to be the norm, not be, oh yeah, does he like me? I want it to be, do I like him? And like, that's such a small little idea, right? You would think, but it's not. You know, I grew up always feeling like, oh my gosh, does he like me? Does he like me? I never stopped to think about, what I even wanted in somebody. You know what I mean? I was so busy reacting to whatever came my way because I was like, oh my gosh, he's paying attention to me. I'm pretty enough. You know, I'm good enough. I'm funny enough. I'm somebody special. And I, for years, would just do that. And I see my 2 little girls growing up, I want them to, like, the norm be them knowing how worthy they are. And them being like, oh, obviously I'm amazing. Like, oh yeah, he's paying attention to me. And it's not about being cocky. No, it's about being confident. And being like, knowing your worth and having that self-esteem and being prepared for, guys wanting to be with you and spend time with you, and you taking a step back and saying, well, let's get to know each other. Let's take things slow. Now I know my kids are like 9 and 11 right now, but I have been, really teaching them this since they were 4 years old. Or less, because they're watching these Disney movies and all these things about, they're kissing and the Prince Charming comes in to save them. And I've had to tell them on the side, like, oh, by the way, like, kissing is really special. And that is something that, like, I literally have always been doing that with them. And I am like so proud of them. Like, the best was my little one, Bella. She was, she had a boyfriend. And, I didn't stop it. Like, she was little. She was, I think at the time, she was like 7 or 8. And, I didn't stop it or anything like that. I was kind of like, I know some people have this feeling like, oh my gosh, they shouldn't have boyfriends and, oh my gosh. And I honestly felt like it's so innocent. They're so young. I'm not going to be, trying to control her and stop something. And I feel like I've been preparing her too, and so, we go to the forest. That's like the first date. And here in Tenerife, it's like just so beautiful. And it's like very the nature. Anyway, that's the first date. They go out into the forest. They're so sweet. They're holding hands. They were friends for like a couple years. And one of the sweetest things, actually, why they got together is, he was kind of like getting bullied at school. And she was very protective of him and told people, and she had that courage to be like, hey, stop, this isn't funny. So she always kind of stood up for him, and she's just that kind of person. So anyway, he always had this, soft spot for her and cared for her. So next thing you know, they're boyfriend, girlfriend. So they're in the forest on the first date, and I'm like dying, right? Will and I are like walking behind, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like just thinking this is so sweet, right? And like we get, like, for the next week or something or 2, it's like one of these short-lived romances. He sends messages on the iPad or whatever, but I see her on spring break and she's kind of like not thinking about him, and he's sending messages and she's kind of like like over it. So I'm kind of like want her to be kind and nice and be like, hey, make sure that, like, do you want to say hi to him or just say that you're busy, or, you know what I mean? Like, I want her to learn what it is to, like, respect. And oh, if you were sending messages and someone was just ignoring you, you know what I mean? Have some empathy. So she kind of like, I realized it was kind of fizzling out, right? So after spring break, she goes to school, and everybody in the classroom is kind of like talking, laughing, mumbling things, and she knows something's going on. And so she goes up to some of the kids and, hey, what's going on? Like, she feels like people are talking about her. And they say, oh, hey, he doesn't want you to be his girlfriend anymore. And so, she gets home that night and after school, and she tells me, hey, mama, and we talk about everything. That's like one of the best, most important things to me is communication. She's always told me everything, right? And so has my other daughter. So Bella tells me, oh yeah, mama, so today, and she starts telling me that whole thing. The kids are laughing. I go up to them and they tell me. So then she's like, so I went up to him and I said, hey, is there something you want to say? Okay, now this is amazing. This is like one of my proudest moments. So then he says, so she's like, oh, so I went up to him and I said, so what's going on? Like, people are saying that you don't want me to be your girlfriend. And he's like, no, I don't. And she's like, oh, okay, well, you're a loss. So this is what she's telling me. And I'm like, Bella, you said that. And she's like, no, but I thought it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I really saw in her eyes that she really believed it. And I felt like, yes. Like, I felt like as a kid, I remember the boys I was crazy about. And if they didn't want to be with me, I was devastated. I was like, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? I always felt like, oh my gosh, I could have done something or and for her to have like that sense of she's amazing, it's your loss, and for her to be kind enough not to say that, to say the words, but she thought it, that's a proud mama moment. Like, in all seriousness, this is what I strive for. And I feel like this is what I want all women. Like, this is a freaking movement. Like, I want all women to feel that. Where if the guy doesn't want to be with you after you've invested some time with him or whatever it is, like, that you are just brilliant. You're amazing all on your own. And it's okay. It's bye-bye. No worries. In Spanish, say no pasa nada. And you keep going. And I love that Bella has that and she moved forward. But in all seriousness, I have been by her side. Like, I've been her own little love coach for years, right? And I've been like training her. And I think that we've all been conditioned, us amazing women have been conditioned to be like, does he like me? Am I enough? Am I good enough? And I'm here to tell you, you are. And the question is he good enough for you? Okay, are you like hearing me? This is like what I really want you to take in. And it's something that you hear, but it's so hard because for years you've been feeling like you're not enough. You've been feeling the opposite, right? So I'm like fighting to help you, right? But it's hard when you keep hearing, even like when you go on now and all the people are like, oh my gosh, like it's so hard to date. Like take what you can get. That is such bullshit. It is. It's like, stop. The world keeps saying the wrong message. And I am like desperately fighting against all that noise. And I want to be that voice for you that reminds you and tells you you're so worthy and you're so freaking amazing and so beautiful. And your person is out there. Don't settle for less. Okay? Yeah. So I know I get so passionate about it because I feel like this is my purpose, is to help women and to start this movement. And so to help with this, by the way, I need to tell you, I feel like it's not enough to just say it here. I love connecting. I'm all about community. So I am doing a free workshop. And if you are like, yes, this is resonating. And you know what? Maybe I don't feel like I'm enough. And maybe because this is really unconscious things. This is like below the surface, things that you've, heard all your years, and you don't realize that maybe you're stuck in a pattern. Maybe you're stuck in something, for a reason, so show up for yourself. I really hope that you take action. You sign up for this free workshop. Let's start off the new year right, with just a different way to look at things. Okay. So January 18th, you can choose one day, right? Either January 18th, January 19th, or January 20th. Choose a day and show up. You can click the link below, register. It's a free workshop with me on my personal Zoom room. Okay. So you and I get to be face to face, and you get to talk to me and tell me, oh my gosh, when I am presenting to you the biggest mistakes that we are all guilty of. I know I've made these mistakes over and over again. For sure, you are making these mistakes every day of your life. Don't get defensive. It's about, oh my gosh, knowledge is power. Let me empower myself. Let Jackie, this amazing love coach who really has her heart in the right place, help me. Okay, so click below, sign up. I really hope you're going to be there, because, I feel like Bella, my little Bella, and Juliana is amazing too, but she hasn't started dating yet, which I'm really happy about. But, I feel like that way that she felt, like, oh, it's your loss, like that. Okay, bye-bye. This is where I want you to be at. So, show up. I'm excited. I'm excited to connect with you. And as you're putting yourself out there, and as you are having faith in the universe that your person is out there, don't settle, okay, for anything less than crazy love, okay? Because it has to be crazy love or nothing.